Welcome back to Mature Lifestyles. We are so pleased to have with us today the president and the CEO of Spectrum Generations, Gerard Queally. Jerry comes bearing news, big news from Washington in terms of how actions in Washington are going to affect Maine, particularly Spectrum Generations. And you not necessarily have the nicest of tasks ahead of you, but we need to know. So would you share with us what we can look forward to?
Well, I don't think it's something to look, it's nothing to look forward to.
What we can expect.
But thank you for having me on, Libby. As a lot of people know, sequestering took effect last Friday, which basically means the government has to, by law, now cut somewhere in the neighborhood of, over a course of a fiscal year, which actually began last October.
Correct.
Somewhere between 5 and 6% of federal spending across all departments.
Right, it's across the board.
All
They're
agencies.
not looking at what could be cut, what should be cut, but just everybody, the good, the bad, and the indifferent get cut.
Absolutely, and one of the things that get cut is the Older Americans Act.
Okay.
And the Older Americans Act is 30 some odd years old, has been flat funded for the last 10 years, and it is now going to get cut for the last 6 months of this fiscal year about 9% in order to get retroed back to
the beginning of that fiscal year.
And the things that will get cut are outreach services for the aging and disabled in the Older Americans Act, health and wellness for senior citizens.
Is that the nutrition type program?
No, health and wellness is more of like teaching people how to live better. Like we held classes, evidence-based classes on matter of balance or living well and
Very
so forth.
important to
Diabetes
seniors.
prevention.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem. Family caregiver support will be cut, and also nutrition will be cut, which includes community dining and Meals on Wheels for seniors.
And that's going to impact Maine too, right?
Absolutely. It's going to not only it'll affect how Spectrum Generations and the other area agencies on aging do their jobs, but the real impact will be the services that seniors receive. For the first time, we believe we are planning that Spectrum Generations will now have a waiting list for Meals on Wheels.
And that hasn't been. You've been able, through volunteers and donations, to try to keep up, but not now.
Correct. A 9% cut doesn't allow us.
And you probably see a greater need right now because we've been in a bad economy. There are probably more people who need your services, not less.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no one is doing well,
Right.
especially seniors in central Maine in this economy.
So we could potentially see a waiting list for meals?
A waiting list, we currently deliver meals 2 days a week, but we may, and then, so there would be 2 hot meals. This is our normal schedule is 2 hot meals, and we provide 3 frozen meals.
Right, so that they can use them when you're not there.
In order to make budgetary requirements, we will probably only do now 1 delivery a week, which is 1 hot meal and 4 frozen. We don't have the luxury that Washington has. We have to pay our bills.
Exactly.
We can't just roll a deficit.
Right.
And so we have to do today what we're given today to meet on. So we're given certain federal dollars, and we have to meet the mission with those dollars.
And if you can't serve everybody with your limited dollars, you just have to say, this is it. This is all we can do.
We're looking at reducing staffing levels in our outreach programs, looking at our family giving programs, our health and wellness programs, which it's an impact to staff, but it means that seniors and disabled adults will not be able to access services as quickly as they have come to expect.
I know you don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but you're being honest with Maine people so that they can know what to expect. Is there anything people can do about these concerns? I'm sure people in Maine are concerned.
There's a couple things. I will say that we have a very good congressional delegation who understand
what that means to their citizens.
Absolutely. I mean, Senator Collins sits on the Aging Committee, subcommittee in the Senate. Both Representative Pingree and Representative Michaud have always been very good to senior citizens, and Senator King has indicated his willingness to work.
And with that note, that's what you should all do. This is our life. It is our seniors. So thank you, Spectrum Generations, for letting us know what's happening. And thank you for joining us on Mature Lifestyle.